Get a little bit of bio details. Your age,
43.
and where did you grow up?
Grew up in Louisiana, Missouri, a pretty little river town just south of Hannibal.
And where did you go to college?
University of Illinois,
What did you study there?
broadcast journalism.
All right, you were one of those, huh?
Yeah, it's always interesting because people are like, well, you have broadcast journalism degree, they just assume I went to Mizzou. But I actually went to Illinois because they had a wheelchair basketball team, an athletic program. We didn't have anything like that here, so that's how I ended up in Champaign.
All right, and you took some awards with that basketball team, I think.
Okay, we got a couple of championships, and I was captain of the team 3 years. And, it was really a life-changing experience. I'd never really traveled outside of Missouri or Illinois before, and saw both coasts in our travels, and it did a lot for my independence coming out of a rehab hospital when I was 16 when I was injured, and just really changed my life.
Cool. What can you tell us about your day jobs? Some of the day jobs you've had over the years and up to recently.
Sure. Out of college, I worked for an organization called the Coalition of Citizens with Disabilities in Illinois. So I was a community organizer from Illinois. It's kind of a popular thing these days. And I traveled the state teaching people with disabilities how to get involved in the political process and how to empower themselves. I worked on a lot of legislation, including the Americans with Disabilities Act. I actually attended the signing ceremony at the White House, which was quite an event. And then I moved here to Columbia to work for the University of Missouri. After the ADA passed, Congress set up funding for what are called technical assistance centers on the ADA, and the University of Missouri has one that serves 4 states. And so I came here, and I was in charge of helping businesses throughout the state, local government, state government, and families and people with disabilities understand what the ADA said, what it didn't say, understand both the rights as well as their responsibilities under the law. So I did that for about 4 years, and then Jim Pauley, who was the state representative in the 24th District from Ashland, announced that he was going to retire after 1996, and so I decided to run for the House, and was elected in 1996, took office in 1997. I served 8 years in the House, and then with term limits, that's all you can serve these days. So I ran for the Senate 4 years ago, and the people of the district were kind enough to elect me, and so that's what I've been doing for my career.
Okay. Well, why are you running for re-election?
Because I love working for the people of this district. I find it fascinating, intellectually stimulating, and very important work. It's something I've wanted to do ever since I was 11 years old, is to serve in state government in the General Assembly. And there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of damage that's been caused, unfortunately, over the last 4 years by Governor Blunt and the Republicans in the legislature. We need to turn that around. We stopped what we could, but we couldn't stop everything, being in the minority in the Senate. And so we need to get back to work in terms of restoring people's health care. We need to get back to work in terms of increasing direct funding for the university and higher education. The highest amount of money they had was back in 2001 when I chaired education appropriations. We still aren't even back up to our 2001 levels here in 2008, and that's a real problem, not just for this community and this university, but it's also a problem in terms of economic development. If you take a look at where jobs grow in this country, they cluster around areas of a higher education. And with Columbia having not only the university, but Stevens, Columbia College, and Mobile Area Community College now has a campus here. This is an excellent place to be able to attract the jobs of the 21st century, but we've got to invest in higher education to be able to accomplish that, and we need to get back to that task.
Okay. What would your and does your experience and background bring to the task of representing the 19th District in the Senate?
Well, first of all, 12 years of experience in Jefferson City, knowing how it works. There are a lot of people that don't have much experience down there with the era of term limits. I was fortunate I could learn from mentors who had been in the legislature 20 or 30 years when I got there. There's nobody who's been there that long anymore because of that situation. I think I bring a lot of intelligence and really a passion to representing this university and the district. It's not always easy. There's a lot of people there who believe higher education is a luxury. It's not a necessity. And so it's a constant struggle to convince colleagues of the importance of investing in the University of Missouri. And I think it's something that I've been fairly effective at.
Right. What are some of the biggest challenges facing this district, do you think, and the people and families in it that you'd want to address in the legislature?
There are a lot of issues right now. People are struggling. The economy's in poor shape. The amount of investment in our public schools has not kept pace. Obviously, there have been cuts to higher education, and a lot of people have lost their health care. The Medicaid cuts have been devastating to families, especially people with disabilities and seniors throughout this state, as well as many children who now don't have health insurance that used to have health insurance 4 years ago. So there's a tremendous amount of work. There's not just one thing. There's a whole host of things that need to be turned around from the last 4 years of damage.
Okay. In what ways do your issues or proposed policies differ from your candidates?
It's difficult to tell because I honestly haven't had more than a passing hello from either of the candidates that are running against me. You know, it's interesting. Every election cycle is different. And, you know, in the past I've gotten to know the people that I'm running against, whether it was in Democratic primaries or if it was in general elections. Last time it was Mike Dittmore, and he and I actually got along very well, and I think we're friends. And, you know, I was supportive when the governor wanted to give him a job in the state government. And it's very different this time. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the partisan divide at this point, why people aren't more interactive. But you know, I think one of the main differences, at least between myself and Kurt Schaefer, my opponent, is in the area of supporting academic freedom and stem cell research. You know, I think that he's purporting to support that, but he'll support it when it's convenient, and he won't support it when it's not convenient to his interests. So that's one of the differences that I have. And the other real difference is that, you know, I'm not doing things out of any self-interest or self-motivation. You know, he works for the governor's sister's law firm. You know, they're interested in making money off of state government and taking care of themselves, and that's been, you know, the hallmark of the Blunt administration. And, you know, there's a lot of people that just got involved trying to figure out how to turn a profit instead of going down there to work for the people in their district. And that's certainly, I think, a key difference, at least that he and I have. And then Christopher Dwyer, I don't really know him that well. He showed up at one stump speaking up in Hallsville, and I haven't really seen him since. So I look forward to a number of events that are coming up where we actually all three get to interact a little bit more, because, you know, I enjoy the give and take of a good race.